Hey y'all.
Them slick girls get me every time. Them slick girls could get every She like, hold up, let me throw on something light. Bitch really went through on something tight.
Alright y'all, so I'm starting a new podcast. Alright, we're back. Like that. I want to look out for my girls that don't be logical. And let me just say this, like, me talking on these topics, these might be topics that I need to work on as well. Because if you know me, feel me, like, for the main part, I'm logical woman, but there be times where I'm not. It happens. Delusion happens. All of that, it just happens. For this podcast, I will not be talking about, oh, dog a nigga back, oh, do the nigga do back. Like, this is not that type of party. Like, it's not that. It's literally not that. First thing, one. I'm in this bitch. I could do this. One, you have to realize how a man thinks. Please keep in mind, when you first meet a man, you will never be valued. They will always look at you like a piece of pussy or just like some type of appearance trophy until proven otherwise. Mind you, let me keep this in mind. All of this is me saying stuff based off my experience and based off talks that I've had with people of my homeboys that have nothing to do with each other. At the end of the day, all think the same. Your first impression should always matter. Undervaluing yourself or overly comfortable or being too accessible or letting your hormones come out, being any type of Jezebel off rip, he will never value you going forward, whether you have great qualities about you or not. So, that being said, first impressions matter a lot with men. Try to avoid sexual topics too early or talking about your past. You can just try to have stimulating conversations as much as you can, or, you know, small talk, even if it's like thinking about deeper things, but just try to avoid talking about things like that. To be very aware of how you carry yourself. Like, even if you choose to carry yourself the way you carry yourself and has nothing to do with a man, when you're meeting a man, please be aware of the perception. It doesn't matter if it's what you're posting on social media or even down to what you're wearing. Because honestly, when I like to go out for myself, whether it's a girls' night out or it's not a girls' night out, I love wearing revealing clothing, right? I have to be aware of that. Be very aware of that. Men think that we do everything for them. Always remember that if you meet a man and you got this revealing clothing on, 9 times out of 10, unless you carry yourself a certain way or your personality is proven otherwise, they're going to think that you're easily accessible. They're going to treat you as is. This is just me being realistic. Like, I'm not telling you to be a bot or not to be yourself, but just be aware of yourself and be aware of the perception of that. Type where you're overly like talking to niggas with status, and which, hey, do you, as you should. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if it's like a thing where you're not picking and choosing and it's like, oh my gosh, you're talking to every nigga with status, you are going to be looked at like that. You have to be aware of that. When another nigga that knows that you fucked with another nigga of status, and that's how they know of you, and this is another thing. Men will never tell you what they know about you. If you meet a man and you have mutuals with him, or like something is just not adding up and they're making it seem like they know nothing about you. It's like he doesn't know none of your dirt or your past, and y'all are in the same city or the same borough, and the nigga is friends with the other friend or some shit like that. It just makes no sense. But if you meet a man and he really just act like he knows absolutely nothing about you and doesn't make sense, like, steer clear. Like, steer clear, or you have to do your biggest one trying to make it seem like, oh, you're not what he might think. 9 times out of 10, they did their research on you. They're acting like they don't know anything about you. Like, just be aware of that perception, because a man will never tell you the real on what his perception is with you or his true intentions with you. Realistically, he's going to lie. Keep this in mind. Men are always going to categorize us until proven otherwise. This is another thing, right? It ties back into what I first said, but realistically, men are not going to like feel like you're different than this girl or that girl off rip. They're going to let time tell. Like, a nigga will never trust you off rip. He'll never think of you highly off rip. Anything you say to him off rip, you can say, yeah, you own multi-businesses and you have morals for yourself and you're Christian and you're this and that. The nigga's gonna think you're lying, realistically. Time will always tell when it comes to a nigga, so you need to make sure that when it comes to you, that you're doing the same thing as him. Don't off rip because this nigga is showing you this and that and da-da-da. You can like it. You can make it a green flag for yourself. Abide by the 3-month rule. Abide by the 3-month rule because they are. Like, and I'm not talking sexually, of course. They're not going to abide by that 3-month rule. But when it comes to trusting you or looking at you any type of way, any man with a sense of mind, unless they're literally just delusional, vulnerable, etc., any average man, they're going to go by that rule to see how they feel about you. So you have to do the same thing. You literally have to do the same thing. Like, okay, yeah, this man is doing such and such and such and stuff for me. Don't give him nothing. Don't do nothing. Keep seeing how he's gonna go. See how consistent he's going to be. If by 3 months he is still consistent and he's not tired because he didn't get poor, he's not changing up his ways, or he's not starting to act different by the 3-month rules, then you can move forward. I'm not saying to judge anybody. You should always, like I said biblically, you're supposed to look at everybody as good, but you know, we're all human. We have qualities to us, and it's just good that we be aware of it. That's all I'm saying. Next, now going past first impressions, stop letting a man make you jealous about females. Alright, this is more like a confident key factor, but like it should never be, alright, his ex looked like this girl looked like this. Like, yeah, initially niggas give a fuck about looks, but how many niggas you know that you done met that they're going back and forth, or they had an ex for a long period of time that is not that visually appealing, like, realistically. So don't be the girl that's just like, oh, I look so good, oh, I get so many niggas. Like, be the girl that has shit going on for herself, right? Be the girl that has morals for herself. Be the girl that has boundaries for herself. And be the girl with personality, not the girl that altered or changed her personality for a man. Like, don't be that girl. But yeah, just be the girl that just wants to do good for herself, and that even if deep down inside you have insecurities, don't show it. Like, and I'm not saying, oh yeah, I don't like that. No, make sure that you always come off as somebody that, no matter how you feel deep down inside, because deep down inside, all these girls that you're seeing on YouTube, they have their own insecurities. They have their own things going for themselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? Their own inside problems, but they're carrying their self a certain way. Like, just always be the girl that carries herself a certain way past the looks. A nigga's always gonna miss that girl that was being authentically herself, that was being funny, that was being real. You know what I'm saying? A nigga's always gonna miss a girl that was being herself rather than a girl that was just for show. Looks only go but so far. And that goes for all of us. Because I'm pretty sure every one of y'all girls that's in here has fucked with an ugly nigga for something, right? Or you're probably fucking with an ugly nigga right now, realistically. It goes both ways. It's just that men get a little tempted off of looks more, I'd say. To end my low relations off of my gents, last piece of advice that I have to say when it comes to thinking about a man, thinking like a man, I should say, so that you're self-aware and you're being logical when it comes to men and not just going based off your feelings or love bombing or, you know, anything like that. Men genuinely prioritize themselves first. And I would definitely say, me as a caring, loving woman, you know, there are a lot of girls that are like me. There are a lot of girls that don't even care, but for a nigga they give a fuck about, they're gonna care. We tend to like prioritize men over ourselves, and I just want to say, don't ever do that dumb shit again. And I'm saying that for myself as well. But we're not gonna talk about me struggling. Focus on yourself. Unless the man is the type of somebody that prioritizes you over himself, or just shows that you're a priority in every way possible, like just being very alert when it comes to you, meaning he's the type of man when you have a bad day, he's trying to do something to help you emotionally, physically, mentally, you know, and in the right way. Even financially. Like, if you're the type where it's like, alright, everything's financially, it goes both ways. If he's doing whatever it takes, and usually men are not like this because men prioritize themselves and men don't be giving a fuck, then you should not be doing the same for him. I'm not saying if you have a great, loving, you feel me, treat him like shit. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is most men, they are not as alert as we are with their feelings, as, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, they're just not as alert. And if they're not like this, make sure you're prioritizing yourself too. You can still be somebody that's caring, loving, but if you have priorities, stick to your priorities, stick to your boundaries. Like, alright, this nigga wants to hang out with you today, but guess what? If that nigga had to go make a run, if that nigga had to go get money, if that nigga could have used his time wisely rather than seeing you And if you're fucking with the right nigga, he probably is, then you need to do that too. And that's one thing I learned. Like, no shade. Like, utilize your time wisely and leave your little bit of dust time for your nigga. I don't give a fuck if that's your boyfriend. Work on yourself first. Let's not the whole like, oh yeah, let me do this errand tomorrow, let me do this errand after that because I want to go hang with my boyfriend, because I want to be with my boyfriend. Like, get the fuck out of that. Me saying that he's alert and trying to do whatever it takes, if he's doing this within the 3 months, it does not count. Anything a nigga's doing within the 3 months does not count. Let me stress this enough. It is about the consistency after the 3 months. Are there going to be trials and tribulations throughout the 3 months? Probably. I'm not saying don't take his word. But if he is able to still have those same good qualities as when he first met you, and he is not love bombing you, or he's not losing interest, or he's not somebody with commitment issues, or this and that comes in, then you can stick to it. So really this advice is more so like how to be logical with men before you meet them, so that you're not dealing with the extra shit or you're not confused. When you're asking men questions, it doesn't matter if it's about their past or anything like that. 9 out of 10 when they first meet you, they are going to lie. Like, men are not usually very honest off rip. I don't think I've ever had an experience with a man that was very honest off rip about anything. Eventually you're gonna have to re-ask the same questions when they're a little more comfortable, and if they're real niggas, they will tell you. But even the real niggas, cause who the fuck is a real nigga for real, they're still gonna lie. Off rip. They, especially if they find you really attractive or they don't want to lose you, they are not going to be so honest. What I would say is, when you are first meeting a man, try to ask more questions about their mindset towards things, like scenarios. Like, I'm trying to give y'all a good example. Just something to where you could see how their mindset is. Rather than asking them like direct questions about themselves, like put them in scenarios, or even give them like, get into a nigga's mind. You know what I'm saying? The more logical you're talking to this nigga, the more logical conversations that stimulate a nigga's brain, the less room he has to try to play with you or speak about anything sexual. What I would say is, low relations is not for the hoes that don't give no fuck. You know, we're all young hoes in our own ways, but the girls that really just don't give a fuck how nigga want, and y'all just want to fuck and all that other shit too, then this really don't go for y'all. These are for the girls that want to carry themselves a certain way. What I will say is, there's a lot of topics that people want to bring up to me that I don't always want to talk about, because there's certain things that I need to work on myself. But like topics like this I'm good for, because it comes to me personally, as much revealing clothes as I wear, as crazy as I post on social media, all those things are for me. Because when it comes to me actually meeting men, however they perceive me at first, it doesn't matter if it really does take 3 months, they will not perceive me like that anymore. I think I carry myself in a way that most men, one, don't even like to shoot their shot with me, which I'm completely okay with. Anyways, and two, if they do shoot their shot with me, if they do speak to me, if they do ask word around town, they'll know better not to like talk to me a certain type of way, or like try to go straight to it with me. Like, I really have experiences with niggas just trying to go straight for the kill. Like, they just don't, realistically. And that has nothing to do with how I post. That has nothing to do with what I wear. It has everything to do with how I carry myself. I could post and wear whatever I want to wear. A man will know if rip, like, alright, Alluri is not like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? If they don't know if rip, they'll eventually learn, because I'm carrying myself a certain way. And you want to be perceived like that. And even if you are the girl that's not thinking about yourself and being logical, but you're thinking about other men or whatever, it doesn't matter. It goes both ways. Like, you're realistically not getting wiped if you're perceived a certain type of way. Sum up the topics of thinking logically like a man. 1, you have to realize that when you first meet a man, you'll always be a piece of pussy to them, or an appearance trophy until proven otherwise. 2, men will always lie about if they know you, if they know anything about you, anything of that sort. Do your own background and research. Like, if it's too connected, if it's a friend and the friend's acting like he don't know you fucked up the friend, he's lying and they perceive you crazy. Next, your first impression always matters. right? Don't overly be too comfortable with the nigga. Don't overly be too accessible off rip. Don't be any type of Jezebel. Don't say anything lustful and try to avoid any sexual topics. Instead, try to get topics of their mindset. Try to act scenarios because they are going to lie. They're going to lie. If you ask them anything about their past or things, just anything that's going to make them look bad, off rip, they're going to lie. So instead, put them in scenarios and just try to see where their mindset and their head is at, because it could be a mindset that they have that you off rip just don't like. Like, for example, like, I don't like the whole, like, you can do this but I can't do that. Yeah, that's not gonna work for me. That's not work for me. Treat me how you want to be treated, or you can get the fuck on. And if a nigga has that mindset, he can go off rip. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why you really just have to pay attention to how a nigga thinks. Yourself, like, don't let a nigga be what make you jealous. Like, of course, don't be jealous in general, but if you're jealous over a bitch, and you have to be real with yourself, be aware of yourself. If you're jealous over a bitch because of a nigga, like, you're all the way wrong. Like I said, niggas will dead ass fuck with their ugly ass ex over and over and over again because of personalities, qualities, and their own thing. So it's not nothing to be jealous or worry. Let me say that. Like, don't worry about no female. Like, don't ever give. Men will always side with men, right? So I feel like as females in a community, we be so fucking dumb that we don't do the same thing. That's why I value my friendship that I do have, because I feel like I don't feel like that. Put it like that. Let me sit the fuck up. Be aware of yourself. Be aware of how you're perceived. Be aware of what you're posting on social media if that's what you got your man for. I'm not saying don't do what you want to do, but just be aware of how you're perceived by these men. Like, be aware of that. Be aware of what you're wearing. Be aware of the environment that you're in, that you got brought around. Like, realistically, like, it's just certain shit. Like, if you don't want to be perceived a certain way, don't be in certain environments. Like, if it's a telly party with these random niggas, you don't know these niggas like that, and you just came around just cause, yes, I'm on live on Twitch right now, and you just came around just to come around, what you think? What do you think? And the thing you have to realize is that a man will always categorize you. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, if it's ex cheating, the other ex cheated, but you're a cheater. So you have to think the same way. Categorize these men as they categorize you. Always think all men are the same until proven otherwise. Always abide by the 3-month rule, because he will not trust you. He will not fully have a good perception of you. He will think that you're lying about everything until 3 months. So you do the same thing, whether you make it known or not. Like, don't be on his ass like, well, you lying about everything. Like, you can act like you give a fuck. You can act like you hear it, but just, you know what I'm saying? Don't fall for it. Don't fall for anything a nigga's doing until 3 months down the line. Prioritize yourself as the way men prioritize theyself. That's my last thing. That was my first episode of Lori Relations. If I should name this like Before You Meet a Man, Thinking Like a Man. Yeah, I did do this really late, but I just feel like this is when I yap the most. 9 times out of 10 I'm doing something with Rissa tomorrow, so y'all stay in tune for that, because the Bad Elves will be doing a girl talk as well, and I think we're gonna bake, or we're gonna do something. I'm gonna figure it out. Honestly, I'm honestly gonna figure it out. What are you live off right now? Microwave? Okay, sorry. I overly appreciate you, Will, because, like, you know what I'm saying, you was my chat for today. Overly appreciate you. Hope you have a blessed night. Anybody else on this chat, I overly appreciate y'all as well, because I know y'all saying I'm lagging or some bullshit. I'm probably just gonna hop on TikTok on my phone right now and get off of stream. Thank y'all. I love y'all.